Doing a different angle this time, guys. So, yeah. Also, I apologize for the lighting. Let me see if I can fix this. I turned that one on and okay, that's significantly better. What's up, guys? It's your boy Chrysalis here, and today we are going to be talking about a bit of a recent subject, I would say. Yeah, I think you probably already know what it is. It's not a very happy one, I will say. So, in case you've been living under a rock lately, it has come to light that Netflix has officially bought Warner Brothers. If anything in what I just said sounds like it sucks, it sucks. It's not 100% final yet. They still have to sign papers, and like there's some stuff going on where they may try to block the sale, and also there's been a lot of guilds, and the Directors Guild, Writers Guild, soon I would assume the Screen Actors Guild and all that are going to have meetings with Netflix to talk about like their concerns about Netflix buying Warner Brothers and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not really going to do the whole doom and gloom thing about why it's bad and the potential pessimistic future for movies and theaters, the cinema in general. I'm instead going to just talk about my experience with movies in general, or at least my experience with going to the theater. I bring this up specifically because one of the things that Netflix are aiming to do now that they are going to gain control of Warner Brothers IPs and studio and everything else is that they want to shorten the theatrical exclusivity of films by a lot. Their CEO has made it a point to talk about how outdated of a model it is and how the consumer, financial, legal jargon and all that, doesn't really go to the movies like that anymore. They prefer to watch their movies on their phone and on a laptop or a tablet or whatever. When that may be the true for some people, but that's definitely not the case for everybody. A lot of recent remarks that the CEO, whose name I'm blanking on, but I'll remember in post, he iterates like a lot of like weird things, like how Barbenheimer would have been just as big if it was on Netflix, when that's just not true. Especially given the fact that so many people were dressing up for both Barbie or Oppenheimer or hell both, and they were making this into a huge event where they're at the cinema for a solid like 5-6 hours out of their day. Yeah, something like that happening at home probably wouldn't have really been a thing. I can't really name a whole lot of Netflix exclusive things aside from maybe K-pop Demon Hunters that went on to be like this big, long-lasting cultural zeitgeist or whatever. The closest that Netflix has in particular would be Stranger Things, but even then, like, Stranger Things is more so just one of those series where, because of like how Netflix has it all set up, where you binge like the entire season and then you're good. It's not so easy to do nowadays since the last couple seasons and this season, I'm pretty sure, a lot of their episodes are about the length of movies for reasons unknown. I think there was like one episode from season 4 that was like the length of Avengers Endgame. I'm just like, did we need to do this? But I'm digressing like significantly, so before I go off on this tangent about Netflix and all that, because there is probably a lot to be said about like the future of cinema and movies at the theater and all that. But instead of like going through like the doom and gloom and everything, since social media is doing a wonderful job of that, I instead want to talk about my experience seeing Kill Bill and why it is one of hundreds of experiences I've had in the theater that indicate why movies at the theater are so important and why that experience is not going to go gently into that good light or good night, however the poem goes. So the other day I was able to catch Kill Bill the whole bloody affair in theaters the other day. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically both movies fused into one bigger movie as originally intended, I think. It's about 4.5 hours long, but honestly it didn't really feel that way. It just felt like I was watching just two less than 2 hour films back to back, complete with an intermission for anyone that has to pee or whatever. And I'm bringing this specific one up because one of the things that people keep saying over and over and over is that young people don't go to the movies anymore. Young people don't show up and watch movies on a big screen anymore when everyone that was there, and it was a full house by the way, was either about my age demographic, like 30-ish or whatever, but probably also younger too. Matter of fact, there were actually people that showed up to go see this that haven't experienced Kill Bill before ever. I think there's like one person that kept gasping every time like a specific kill happens, or there's like some big plot twist or what have you, or the main plot twist, like that was the biggest gasp from that person yet. And there was just nothing like it, and there will never be anything like it. Because I feel like if that just got uploaded to a Netflix or an HBO Max or what have you, and I'm just watching it from the comfort of my own home on this TV right here, then it wouldn't be as memorable of an experience. There's just a lot of distractions that can happen. No matter how good of a setup you have, mine's pretty okay. It's got the TV and the sound bar and all that. But yeah, no matter how good of a setup you have, whether it's something like mine or you got the 100-inch OLED TV that does 4K and everything, you got like the top of the line surround sound and all that, nothing is ever going to be like the ritual of going to the theater, sitting down and experiencing it on a big ass screen with a bunch of strangers. So for transparency's sake, I ended up editing out a lot of this tangent about the affordability of theaters and the affordability of concessions and everything else, because while that is super important, it kind of detracts from how important movie theaters are and how important cinemas are. And I think that it's important to have these conversations about the affordability of them, and we can't have that conversation if movie theaters aren't around. So yeah, $20 popcorn, $20 movie tickets, albeit I'm an A-lister and all that. They're just gonna have to take that from my cold, dead hands because it's just so imperative that the theater exists, and I'm willing to just continue to push for affordable everything and push for just the existence of theaters because the movies playing at cinema is just so important for like cultural and artistic reasons. And that's all I'm gonna have to say about that. But I think regardless of like the pricing of theaters aside, I think regardless of the pricing of concessions aside, which is 100% optional by the way, it is something that needs to be addressed, that whether that's like a greater macroeconomic issue with the economy at large thanks to, the powers that be or what have you, or just something else that needs to keep being said over and over and over until eventually like the theaters listen. Because with a merger of Netflix and Warner Brothers, or rather the acquisition of Warner Brothers with Netflix, theaters are looking dire, and now is a more prudent time to go see movies in theaters, like more than ever. I remember when I was scrolling through Twitter at some point, and maybe I'll screenshot this, maybe I won't. During this whole thing where it was theorized that a lot of theaters are going to close because of this. Someone actually screenshot like one of the frames from Wall-E where they're on the Axiom and there's like all the people on it like just in their little chairs, like just glued to their screens and all that. And someone was like, call me crazy, but I'm pretty sure this is the future that Netflix are trying to create. And yeah, I can definitely agree with that. This idea that eventually over time we are going to be just put in a position where leaving home is just, why would we ever do that when there's like nothing out there for us? And our only like option to watch movies is on a streaming service, one of three basically at this moment. And more importantly, I also recommend just going to the theater while you can, and also just picking up physical copies of movies, especially ones made by Warner Brothers, which you can find on warnerbrothersarchive.com or whatever. Just Google it. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. Because with the potential of this merger or acquisition, the future of the cinema is looking pretty dire, where one service is monopolizing like just about everything. I think it's up to us movie lovers or cinephiles to just fight back against it. Like see movies like just about as much as you possibly can while we still can. And if for some reason you haven't yet, check and see if your theater has AMC A-list option or Regal Unlimited option or what have you. So that way not only can you maximize how many times you can go to the theater per week, you are also telling these corporations, hey, I'm paying X amount per month to see these movies at theaters per month. So, yeah, like in this world, in this economy, in this country and all that we live in this society, where a lot of shit is capitalist and all that, money speaks louder than words. So, yeah, if for some reason you're not an AMC A-lister yet, or you don't have a Regal Unlimited yet, or anything like that, just, or any kind of rewards program your local theater might have, then definitely cash in on that. Definitely look into that, because that's going to be more important than ever and a lot more ease off of the strain of your wallet if for some reason you're spending like buku's amount of money on a movie. Anyhow, that's kind of all I just wanted to say. I just recall getting the news about Warner Brothers being acquired by Netflix and thinking to myself, okay, I already really definitely wanted to go to my AMC to go see the Kill Bill movie. Now I really want to, because I just need to be consoled. Because for a lot of people, myself included, because I definitely leaned on theater and the cinema for this, it's a lot of people's home away from home. It's like the one place for me personally I can go when like during times of celebration and the times of like when it feels like the end is nigh. And I just really hate to see that go. And I hope that a lot of people that either watch like my channel or videos similar to this feel the same way. Or if you're just someone that watches movies, I hope you feel fairly similar. So yeah, the TLDR, just watch movies as much as you can. Stock up on physical copies, see movies in theaters as much as you can. And yeah, that's all I got. If you heard the news about this, what do you think of it? Do you think it's a wonderful thing for some asinine reason, or are you like me and just think this is pretty bad, but it's hopefully far from the end? And what movies are you seeing in theaters this weekend and this month? And what movies are you looking forward to seeing in theaters pretty soon? And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you for watching this video. I apologize for how long it's been. I'm hopefully going to get back into the swing of things pretty soon. This is your boy Chrysalis here, signing off.